Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Wednesday, April 26, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. Texas Rangers vs Cincinnati Reds. The Texas Rangers have made some massive moves in the past few years to become contenders once again in the talented AL West, with the Angels, Astros and Mariners all looking for a playoff spot, but now they'll need to find an extra gear if they are to keep it up over a 162-game season. While the Reds have managed two incredible comebacks over the past few days, this Rangers team is the far superior squad on paper, and with the impressive Jon Gray taking the mound, Texas will still be full of confidence. It's tough to count out Cincinnati, as they seemingly have nothing to lose in 2023, but given the depth and consistency that the Rangers have built over the first month of the season, it's tough to see them being swept in such an important matchup. Our team pick is Texas. While the result in this one is anything but a guarantee, one thing that is seemingly for certain is that the offensive matchup in this battle will be the highlight, with a combined 26 runs scored in the first two games of this series, while the over sits at 7-3 in the past 10 head-to-head matchups in Cincinnati. For the Rangers, the over sits at a perfect 4-0 in their past 4 games on the road, while the over for the Reds is 7-0 in their past 7 games following a win, and in the hitter-friendly confines of Cincinnati, expect much of the same. Keep it simple, take the over. Boston Red Sox vs Baltimore Orioles. After dropping Game 1 by a single run, the Red Sox bounced back in Game 2, scoring 7 runs over the first 3 innings. Jarren Duran added a grand slam in the fourth, and he finished 3-4 at the plate and is boasting a .387 batting average. 8 players for Boston logged a hit on the day. Corey Kluber tossed 4 6 innings and struck out 3, while allowing just 1 run. RHP Tanner Houck is set to make his 5th start of the season, and he currently boasts a 3-0 record with a 4.29 ERA and 1.24 WHIP. In his last road start, Houck tossed for 5 innings and struck out 4, while allowing 2 runs. In 2 games against Baltimore last season, Houck threw for just 5 innings, but gave up no runs and struck out 4. Houck has started this year off better than a season ago, as his strikeout rate has increased, but he's given up a career high in home runs per 9 innings pitched, and his walk rate has also climbed up compared to prior seasons. The offense for Baltimore has been seeing the ball well, and even with their inconsistencies at the plate, Baltimore has continued to find ways to get on base and drive runners home. Wells has off to a strong start and has pitched his best on his home mound. Boston could struggle here on the back of Houck, who has been a bit shaky to start the season and hasn't been keen on striking opposition out. Take the Orioles at home. Our team pick is Baltimore money line. As mentioned, Houck hasn't shown that he can regularly work his way through the lineup. This contest also features 2 teams that are in the top third of the league in runs scored per game, and the Red Sox lead the majors in plate appearances and have made do with their high home run rate. Speaking of homers, Houck has been posting career high in home runs given up, and the hot bats of Baltimore will look to light up the scoreboard at Camden Yards. Take the over. Over 8.5 runs. Chicago White Sox vs Toronto Blue Jays. The White Sox are 7-17 overall this year. They have lost 6 straight games entering Wednesday afternoon. They have also lost 8 of their last 9 games, too. Chicago comes into this series against Toronto after being swept by Tampa Bay. Chicago is in danger of being swept by Toronto in this series. The Blue Jays topped Chicago 5-2 in Game 1 on Monday. They followed it by being blanked 7-0 against Toronto on Tuesday, April 25th. Toronto enters this game with a 15-9 record. They have won 3 straight games and have won 4 of their last 5. The Blue Jays have won the first 2 games of the series against the White Sox. The Blue Jays won 5-2 against Chicago on Monday, April 24th. They followed it with a 7-0 win on Tuesday, April 25th. Toronto's Danny Jansen hit 2 home runs in the game to lead the Blue Jays. He finished with 4 RBIs in the win and added another hit to his name in the game. George Springs also finished with 3 hits and an RBI in the game. Jose Barrios pitched 7 innings in the game. He allowed just 4 hits and 0 earned runs in the win. Barrios also struck out 9 batters in the game. There are little signs that favor the White Sox in this game. Their hitting has been dreadful, and their pitching as a staff has been poor. Kopech gets the start for them on Wednesday, and he has allowed 16 earned runs in 20 innings pitched this year. Toronto has been finding a groove as they have won 3 straight games. Toronto will start Kikuchi, who has impressed in 3 of his first 4 starts. I'll side with the team in form and playing at home. Take Toronto minus 1.5 runs. Chicago's pitching staff continues to just allow runs at will. It is becoming a huge difference maker in their losses as they are struggling on the offensive end to keep up. Toronto brings out Kikuchi on Wednesday, who has looked sharp but isn't perfect. He can totally lay down some runs for the opposing team. The over is 7-1 in the last 8 meetings. Take the over 9.5 runs. Colorado Rockies vs Cleveland Guardians. The Cleveland Guardians have been brutal offensively as a team this season, as they are the 4th worst in MLB, with a .658 team ops, while scoring 3.91 runs per game up to this point. However, they are getting on base at a decent rate, as they are tied with the Washington Nationals for 18th, with a .314 on base percentage. Cleveland has a handful of solid everyday players that need to produce to make sure Cleveland will win games consistently. There is a massive difference in the bullpens throughout the season, as Cleveland is 10th in MLB with a 3.35 reliever ERA, while Colorado is currently 22nd in the majors with a 4.40 bullpen ERA right now. The ability to make plays behind their pitcher is critical, and there is a large difference as the Guardians are 15th in the sport with a .987 fielding percentage, while the Rockies are the 2nd worst defensive team with a .980 fielding percentage so far. The Guardians have won 4 of the last 5 games against the Rockies, so go with the Cleveland Guardians to pick up a win here. Take Cleveland with the money line. These are 2 extremely young and inexperienced pitchers, with that the opposing team does not have much taper experience on. The Cleveland Guardians and the Colorado Rockies both have been some of the bottom 10 offensive teams throughout the first month of the season, and not being able to hit home runs is critical. The under is 6-0-1 in their previous 7 games against one another, so go with the under in this game. New York Yankees vs Minnesota Twins. While they also have begun the year at 13-10, the Twins have had better fortune than the Yankees thus far and see themselves atop the division standings in the NL Central. The Twins have now won 2 games in a row, including the series opener over the Yankees, but had dropped a few in a row before that. The Twins have been a little better at home so far this year than on the road, going 6-4 in home contests so far, including 4 of their last 6 in the Twin Cities. Similar to the Yankees, the Twins have scored just 97 runs on the season so far, with similar team stats, batting .233 with a team ops of .691 on the year. In just 13 games played, Joey Gallo leads the team with 6 home runs. Having allowed just 80 runs on the season, the Twins will be looking for a good starting performance in this one as well, to try and put them over the top versus New York. I am taking the Twins at minus 130 over the Yankees in this one. So far this season, both teams have played very similarly, ranking towards the bottom of the league in runs scored, while rankings towards the top of the league in runs allowed. The Twins have the edge in recent play, however, having won a couple in a row including over the Yankees. The Yankees' recent slide of losing 3 out of 4 has them on their heels, and of particular concern is the fact that they have been able to score just 1.5 runs per game during this stretch. In the starting pitching matchup, Kenta Maeda has a slight edge over Domingo German, and given the Twins are playing at home, this should put them over the top in this one. Take Minnesota with a money line. I'm taking under 8 runs on Wednesday. As we've discussed, both teams have struggled to score runs this year, with a couple of the lowest totals in the league. The Yankees' recent hitting slump does not inspire confidence in the Yankees' sudden offensive outbreak in this game, while the Twins have continued to average just over 4 runs per game recently. Both Domingo German and Kenta Maeda are experienced veterans who are not prone to total meltdowns. Both are off to a solid start on the season, and facing relatively lackluster offenses in this one, they should be able to limit the damage for each of their respective teams and keep the total scoring low enough for the under to hit comfortably. Take the under. Detroit Tigers vs Milwaukee Brewers. In the early stages of the season, the Detroit Tigers have been mediocre as they are last in baseball with a .603 ops, while scoring 3.05 runs per game in that span. Third baseman Nick Maton, .625 ops, 12 RBI, has been doing pretty well, but has a .083 batting average in his last 7 games. Detroit is a young team that needs to have some talent step up if they want to surprise some teams, if they want to step up and grab some wins. Michael Lorenzen has been struggling on the mound with a 6.00 ERA, while Freddie Peralta is beginning to find his groove on the mound and getting consistent outs. Being able to get on base when you make contact is critical to being a successful offensive team, as the Brewers are 7th in the majors with a .309 BABIP, while the Tigers are all the way down at 26th in baseball with a .270 BABIP thus far. All in all, go with the Milwaukee Brewers to dominate in this game and cover the run line here. The Detroit Tigers have been struggling at the plate, and expecting them to score more than 3 runs in this game feels like we are asking for a little bit too much. Both of these bullpens have been showing a good job throughout the season, as Detroit is 21st in the majors with a 4.32 reliever ERA, while Milwaukee is 6th in baseball with a 3.12 bullpen ERA. The under has hit in 4 of the previous 5 games against one another, so go with the under in this game. Los Angeles Dodgers vs Pittsburgh Pirates. Los Angeles enters this game having won their previous 4-game series against the Cubs and having won the first game of their current 3-game series against the Pirates. In their most recent 8-7 win, Noah Syndergaard got the start for the Dodgers and tossed 4 innings, allowing 9 hits that resulted in 7 earned runs. However, those ended up being the Pirates' only production in the game, with the bullpen doing a good job closing out the rest of the game. Yency Almont got the win, Caleb Ferguson got his second hold, and Shelby Miller got his first save of the season. On the offensive end, the Bats were able to erase a 7-2 deficit starting in the top of the 5th. The offense was led by Chris Taylor, who went 3-4 with 2 runs scored and 3 RBIs, courtesy of the 3-run go-ahead bomb he hit in the 8th. Miguel Vargas had the only other multi-hit game for the Dodgers, going 2-4 with a run scored and 2 RBIs. Overall, this was a great comeback win for Los Angeles. Taking the Dodgers to win this game for a couple of reasons. There is pretty good value behind the Dodgers ML at -125, and the Dodgers got a great comeback win in Game 1, winning 8-7 courtesy of Chris Taylor's 3-run go-ahead bomb in the 8th. I expect this to be pretty deflating for the Pirates, who were riding a 7-game win streak heading into that game. It is debatable who has the edge on the bump, but I am going to side with the Dodgers, who enjoy the return of Tony Gonsolin in this game. Gonsolin posted fantastic numbers in 2022 with a 16-1 record and a 2.14 ERA and 0.87 WHIP, and I expect him to have a solid outing in his return. Roansy Contreras for the Pirates has been solid, but I do not see him being a game winner, given his 4.57 ERA and 1.52 WHIP on the season. In terms of trends, the Dodgers are 8-2 in their last 10 meetings in Pittsburgh and are 96-47 in the last 143 meetings overall. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the Dodgers to win this game. Our team pick is Los Angeles Dodgers money line. Taking the over in this game for a couple of reasons. We are coming off a high-scoring Game 1 with an 8-7 final, and I expect that trend to continue in Game 2. Tony Gonsolin is making his first start of the season coming off injury, and while I expect him to pitch well, he very well could give up a couple of runs due to rust and having not played yet this season. Meanwhile, the Pirates give Roansy Contreras the start, who has posted a 4.57 ERA in his first 4 starts. Both offenses have been scoring early and often, with both teams totaling 4 or more runs in the majority of their past 10 games. In terms of trends, the over has gone 3-0-1 in the Dodgers' last 4 road games with a total set at 8.5 or higher, has gone 6-1 in the Dodgers' last 7 road games against a right-hander, and has gone 4-1 in the Dodgers' last 5 road games overall. The Pirates have also gone over in their past 6 starts with Contreras on the bump and the total set at 8.5 or higher. When these teams have faced off in the past, they have gone over in 42 of their past 60 meetings in Pittsburgh, making me the more confident in taking the over for this matchup. Our total pick is over 8.5 runs.